Hello internet world, and what I've got here is, wow, a very cool gaming laptop. This is the Asus ROG Zephyrus GM501. This is one of the very latest gaming laptops to come onto the market with a 6-core Intel processor, and it is stacked full with top spec components. Now this is going to be a very different video to what you've normally seen from me, because you know I mainly use Apple computers. In fact, I've got one Windows PC in my sort of arsenal of kit that I use. This I actually got in because I've got a very strong interest in Windows-based laptops at the moment, not only for gaming but also for productivity as well. And if you've watched my videos regularly over the past probably 2-3 months, you'll know that I've not been very impressed with Apple and Mac OS, my chosen platform, and something like this was really something that I wanted to try, because I've looked at Windows-based machines before and not been that impressed, but I've always been impressed with Asus and their level of quality and what they've been delivering lately. And when the first Zephyrus gaming laptop came out last year, I liked the look of it, but I didn't like the placement of the trackpad. It was a bit of a weird layout. This one's bang up to date. It's got a regular keyboard. The keyboard has shifted up to a normal position now. Trackpad in a normal position as well. Still got the number pad, and it's got some great specifications. Now you can see Fortnite on the screen. I have been testing Fortnite on here. Let me just pop that down on the desk because it is quite a weight. I'm going to have to refer to my notes. I'm never going to remember all of the specifications, but I just want to run through the specifications very quickly. Before I do so, I want to say a big hello in the live chat to Paul Sajides and Neil Sudan. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a live broadcast, so if you want to use that live chat or indeed use the super chat, you can. And also, if you're not subscribed to Geekanoids, please do hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know when I'm either going live or when I've uploaded a video. So without further ado, let's take a look at the specs. Now there are 3 models of this particular laptop. The actual model name or number is the Asus ROG Zephyrus GM501, and then you've got one GM model, and then you've got 2 GS models. The GM model starts at £1,749 currently at the time of doing this video. I don't normally quote prices, but I want to give you some context of pricing in this particular video. So £1,750 for that entry level into this particular laptop. What that gets you is a really nice screen, 144Hz panel on this one. Also a Core i7-8750H processor. That's a 6-core processor. 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is the same processor and the same amount of RAM across all the different models, and the 144Hz Full HD screen across all of the models as well. And then this is where the differentiating factor is. This one's got a 250 gigabyte SSD plus a 1TB SSHD. And it's also got a 6 gigabyte GTX 1060 discrete graphics card. Now as you go up the range, so next model up, you're going to get the same 256 gigabyte SSD and a 1TB SSHD, but instead of that 1060, you're going to get an 8 gigabyte GTX 1070, and that's going to take you up to £2,099 or £2,100. And then for the top end model, just for an extra £100, and I think this is well worth doing if you are going for that 1070 model, for an extra £100, then you get 512 gigabytes solid state storage, and that's what this model is. So just to recap, this is the top end model with that Core i7-8750H processor. It's also got 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of solid state storage, and also a 1TB SSHD. It's like a hybrid drive, and the 8 gigabyte GTX 1070 graphics card. So that sort of covers off the main specification. Now first of all, let's just cover off I/O. So what ports have we got on this? Let's pick this up again. It's quite a weighty laptop. It's very slimline, but it's not going to be very portable. Now on this side here, we've got Kensington lock on the back here, and then we've got Thunderbolt 3 and USB 3 on here, like a USB A type port. So having a Thunderbolt 3 USB-C port on this side is very, very welcome. We've also got some vents here as well. And then if we go round onto this side, so the ports on this side are, we have got microphone headphone port just here, so like a dual port on this side, and then a further 3 USB A type ports, all USB 3 or 3.1. Then we've got an HDMI 2 port for output into a monitor. You could also use that Thunderbolt 3 port for a monitor as well. And then we've got the input for the power supply. Now, do take into account that this hasn't got mini display port, it hasn't got Ethernet, so if you want either of those, well, mini display port you're going to be stuck without, but Ethernet you're going to have to convert, get a little dongle from the USB there. Also, apart from that, there's no memory card slot, so for content creators you're still going to need to use a memory card reader. Now, some of these latest Core i7-8750H laptops do have memory card slots, but I think this one has really captured my attention, not only because of its performance but because of this as well, this design. So what happens here is, as we open up the laptop, if I could show you it from this angle, probably be a little bit better. As we open the laptop up, this bottom section, I'm not sure if you can see that on the video, but this bottom section actually opens up, and this is to give more ventilation to that discrete graphics card. Apologies for hitting the microphone there. This is the beauty of doing a live broadcast. You're going to get the odd little knock on the microphone, especially when handling a big laptop like this. But you can see here that this gap appears as you open up the screen, and this gives you more ventilation to that discrete graphics card. Very, very nice design. It does mean this is a little bit sort of flexible on the bottom, but it's a really very, very nice mechanism. And one of the things I want to just sort of talk about whilst we're talking about that extra ventilation is, whilst I've been using this both for gaming and a little bit of content creation as well, I have found that in comparison to the laptops I normally use for content creation, which is of course a MacBook Pro, I found that this is a bit noisier, especially when playing Fortnite, for example. The fans do ramp up. They're not going to destroy your enjoyment of the laptop, but they are audible. But it does a good job overall of cooling. Certainly this top surface area doesn't get sort of hot at all. It gets warm to the touch sometimes, but doesn't get hot. So it does a really nice job of actually keeping everything cool and running. Also means you're not going to get any throttling on the processor as well. It's all going to run at full speed really very nicely. And one of the things that we were surprised with on this one, because I set this up with somebody else, was that when we installed Fortnite, all of the settings set to max. I think it's called Epic or something, but all of the settings all the way down, the system had determined automatically that this could handle max settings on everything. And Fortnite ran so smoothly. Very, very smoothly indeed. Super impressed with it. Absolutely awesome. Now I'll talk to you a bit about build quality in a moment, in particular the keyboard and the trackpad. Let's stick on the subject of software for a little while. Now this is running Windows 10. I installed Adobe Premiere Pro, which ran absolutely fine, really churned through videos quickly, and I was impressed with how that worked on this laptop. And on previous experiences with Windows 10 machines I haven't been that impressed, but certainly Adobe Premiere Pro ran superbly. 4K footage, editing, no problem at all at full resolution. Very, very easy to handle that. On sort of anything higher than that, you probably have to drop down to half or probably a quarter when you're editing Adobe Premiere Pro. With DaVinci Resolve, I still haven't, pardon the pun, resolved my issues with that. I couldn't get DaVinci Resolve to run on this at all. Either the previous version, 14, or the new beta version of 15. I tried various things to fix it, couldn't get that running. So I've reached out to Blackmagic Design, and at the time of doing this video I haven't heard back from them. It's probably just a bug, software issue, some sort of conflict along the way, but that hasn't been resolved for me yet. So I couldn't test that. Now with regards to the speakers, very, very loud. Very, very good audio from this laptop. Really impressed with the audio reproduction. When you turn it on, it makes you jump as well, because it comes up with this sound, sort of boot up sound, that is really quite loud. Other things of note: the bezels are quite large on the screen, but they disappear after a while. You don't notice them when you're actually using the laptop. So yeah, it isn't the latest sort of trend for bezel-less designs on the screen, but it's absolutely fine. The actual panel quality, 144 Hertz, really very good. Viewing angles very good. Color accuracy up there with other laptops. Not the best on Adobe RGB color accuracy, but good enough, and viewing angles good enough as well. At the moment, I've got this set to full brightness, and you can see the colors on there. If I just give you a close-up look at this, these are the colors that you're going to see, in the viewing angles. Very, very good indeed. Extremely good viewing angles. So I've been really impressed with that. Whilst I'm holding this up close to the camera, you can see we've got a fully backlit keyboard with the number pad. Really nice trackpad. All one piece on the trackpad, not separate left and right mouse buttons. They're underneath the trackpad, and it uses Windows precision drivers. So it's a very, very good experience, and I like the fact it's got Windows precision drivers, because it means it's going to be updated, taken care of by Microsoft. You get all of the multi-touch gestures on there as well. Could do with being a little bit bigger if I was being picky, but it works absolutely fine. If you're using this for any sort of content creation or gaming, because it is a gaming laptop, then you're going to use an external sort of trackpad or mouse anyway. For gaming, you're going to use a mouse, and I would probably use an external keyboard as well. For some of my Fortnite sessions, I've been using an external keyboard, sorry. But this keyboard's very nice, chiclet style keyboard. I love the lighting on it, which you can fully configure. It's just a really nice keyboard to use, and the fact they've squeezed a number pad on the end as well is very, very welcome, especially for me, because I use this not only for gaming but for content creation as well. We've got some dedicated keys at the top here for audio, just at the top left of the keyboard there, and they're really nicely positioned. You can see the numpad as well, a little bit squished up, the numpad, but it works very well. I don't think you'll be disappointed with that. And then overall design of the laptop, I think it's really nice. The back of the lid here, very, very good. We've got backlighting coming through on the Asus ROG logo here, but not too much red everywhere that you normally see on gaming laptops. Just that sort of logo, and then you've got a little highlight of gold coming around here, a little sort of bevel around the edge of the laptop, which just gives it that sort of touch of quality. It sort of feels nice quality. No flex at all on the keyboard. Very, very good indeed. Little activity lights up the top here for charging and hard drive activity. And overall, just a really nice laptop. I think it's a gorgeous machine, and the performance has been really good. And apart from that little niggle I've had with DaVinci Resolve, it's been, and I can say this with conviction, it has been my best experience yet with a Windows-based laptop. There you go, I said it. I am impressed. And for all of you that have come in on my live streams and videos before and have said I don't give Windows a fair chance, I've used this for just over a week now, and I am loving it. It is absolutely superb. And this comes at a time when just last week I did a video saying, is this the end for Apple, which came in as a viewer question, and I was discussing how Apple are leaving a lot of people with this sort of a quandary as to whether they stay with the platform and wait for new MacBook Pros, and when the new MacBook Pros come out, are they going to deliver something with the very latest processors? Probably not. So do they make a laptop for everyone now? Probably not. And I know a lot of people asking me to actually recommend them a laptop for content creation. And with these new i7-8750H based processors, which are 6-core, and the discrete graphics cards in something like this, then I think I can recommend something like this now. I think it's going to do a great job if you're a content creator. There are other options available. There are, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, including this one, 4 manufacturers, probably a few more that I don't know about, but 4 main manufacturers that have launched laptops with this very latest processor in, and more will do so in the future. But certainly this Asus one is very, very impressive in terms of build quality, performance, sound levels, screen quality as well, with that 144Hz display. I do not think you'll be disappointed if you're a content creator, for one. If you're a gamer, I think you'll absolutely love it. If you are gaming on something like this, I would suggest putting it next to your monitor and having an external display, so have a dual display, plug in via the HDMI or indeed via that Thunderbolt 3 port, and use that external display for your gaming. But having the built-in 144Hz display on here means you've got a mobile gaming powerhouse. It performs superbly. So anyway, let's take a look inside the live chat. We have got Sumyu. Hello to Sumyu. And we've got Paul Seamark. Can you disable the touchpad entirely? I find playing on gaming laptops you will use a mouse, but having your hand on the keyboard can hit the touchpad with your palm by accident. I'm not sure you can disable it entirely, but I found that palm rejection on this particular trackpad is very, very good indeed. So whilst I've been typing and using that, using the main keyboard, I haven't had any accidental inputs. And also don't forget, this is quite a small trackpad, so the likeliness of that happening whilst you're using your main gaming keys off to the left of the trackpad, very unlikely to happen. Hello to Eric. Thank you for tuning in to the live broadcast, Eric. And we've got Sumu Nath saying, I will never switch to Windows. Well, I thought I would never go back to using Windows. Going back to all the way back to the days when I was an IBM engineer, when I sort of moved away from that particular career, I used Macs predominantly and just serviced Windows machines within a few companies that I worked with. And I use Mac OS primarily, probably 95% of my time. And I never thought I would consider a Windows machine again. But I think a lot of people's hands are being forced in this direction. And certainly if you want a game, then Windows is really the only platform you should consider unless you're a console gamer. But for sort of desktop and laptop gaming, Windows is the way to go. And this Asus ROG Zephyrus M is a superb machine. Eric, for the last 5-6 years I've used 2 different 15-inch MacBook Pros to edit and create my videos. But ever since Apple released the new MacBook Pros, I've decided to switch to Windows when my Retina MacBook Pro reaches the end of its lifespan. There you go, a good example where Eric has been a long time MacBook Pro user, and you know, I don't want to put words into Eric's mouth, but I would guess, and chime in, Eric, in the live chat, I would guess Eric is disillusioned by the lack of updates and focus from Apple. They seem to be forgetting their sort of pro users. And you get to that point where the frustration's too much and you think, well, enough's enough. And also you do pay extra as well a lot of the time, although this is an expensive laptop, but for Apple products you pay right up there, top prices. And also something that I've experienced, especially with like Sierra and High Sierra, is the stability has been lacking as well. So you know, you can't continue putting your money into a brand and into a platform and ecosystem if it's not doing what you want it to do. And I think this is, certainly for me, this is one of the first Windows laptops that I would ever consider switching to. It really is that good. Sean Major, should be okay for video editing. What's the price? Hi Sean. It is absolutely superb for video editing. I've got Adobe Premiere Pro running on here, and it's been absolutely blasting through 4K video editing, so really very, very good indeed. Starts at, I did cover the prices a little bit earlier on, but if you've only just tuned in, I'll just let you know they start at £1,749, and for this top end one, £2,199. So not a cheap laptop, but you get what you pay for, and you're getting really good quality here. Good quality build materials, the fit and finish is superb. The keyboard amazing, and as I said earlier, the trackpad's really good. Precision, Windows Precision drivers on there. Awesome display, good all-round package, and superb performance. We've also got MyDem06. Hello to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Sumyu is watching this on his MacBook Pro. And Paul Seamark saying, click the links below for the price. Sean, very good point. If you do want to check out this laptop for yourself, then do click the links down in the video description. That will give you current pricing. There's also a link to the Asus website. But for now, I'm going to wind this broadcast up and just show you that back again. I love the back panel on this as much as the front. This is the Asus ROG Zephyrus M GM501. Very, very high-end gaming laptop, and I can highly recommend it. If you're watching this after the live broadcast and you've got any questions or comments at all, drop them down in the comment section below. I answer pretty much every single one. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that will notify you when I publish a new video. And I either publish a new video or live broadcast pretty much every single day. Have a fantastic... Oh dear, almost lost my words there. Have a fantastic... This is live. Ah, that's too heavy. I'm putting it down. Have a fantastic weekend to you all. I really do appreciate you all tuning in as well. It's been a long week and I published a lot of videos, and I want to thank you for tuning in to so many of them. Hit that like button. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all in the next one.